God bless you out there, global Christian friend. God bless the American people, the American government, pastors, saints, and churches out there across the world. God bless all the friends around the globe. I am a friend to everyone. Look, the Bible said Abraham believed God, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. The Bible also said Phineas executed judgment, and guess what? It was accounted to him as righteousness also. You see, you have to listen to what God tells you and show you, because your life is hid with God, and it ought to be. Otherwise, you probably get sunburns, sunstrokes, and all that other kind of stuff that you get. Cares of this life, cares of this world. The deceitfulness of riches choke the word. If the word is choked, you never bring forth fruit. Can't do that. Here we are. Luke 9 and 51. A Samaritan village refuses to receive Jesus. And let's read what it says there in 51. And it came to pass when the time was come that he should be received up, he steadfastly, that word again, steadfastly, we talked about the steadfastness earlier, the steadfastness of angels. The Bible speaks about that, the steadfastness. How wonderful that is to speak of the steadfastness of angels. You know where that's found in Hebrews. But here, he steadfastly, verse 51, set his face to go to Jerusalem. Now, Solomon had said way back in the old days, look to Jerusalem. Daniel 3 times a day prayed, looking to Jerusalem. Jerusalem, the lower earthly Jerusalem, because there's also a higher heavenly Jerusalem. All right? You know about both of them. At least you ought to. The lower earthly one and the higher heavenly one. But I got news for you. I'm going to tell you the truth. The lower earthly Jerusalem cannot be compared with the higher heavenly Jerusalem. Why? It is a city of gold. All right? Streets of gold. It has a tree of life. The streets are paved with gold. Now, that's something you need to want to think about and understand in the greatest sense of theology, in the greatest sense of doctrinal terminology, in the greatest sense of God making and showing what is your few gold flakes or gold buildings to me when I am capable of making cities of gold. Think about that. And I got news for you. I've said this before. I'll say it again. The city has pearls at each gate. And look at this. Each one of those pearls are 300 miles in circumference round. Think about that. 300 miles in circumference round. And there are 12 of those. No. There's an angel at each gate, so don't get no understanding about it. Don't misunderstand. God is not a fool in his creation, nor is he a fool in his revelations. You see, the first thing you think about is, oh, no. Don't consider that. Don't consider that. You ought to praise the Lord and find out what God said about his own personal praise, as opposed to what the prophet says about God's personal praise. Think about what could you do with the 300-mile pearl in the first place? Chip away. You'll be chipping away for generations to come. All right? And besides, these pearls don't chip. All right? They protect the city of gold with angels guarding outside of those pearls, standing guard. That's just show the wisdom of God. He's not worried about anybody trying to take them, but that's just God's way. And Jesus set his face to Jerusalem, locked his face in the direction of Jerusalem. You know, it's like gyrolocking. Like you gyroscopically lock on a target or horn in on a target, radar or GPS locking in on something. That's what he did. At this point in time, he did not turn his face to the right. He did not turn his face to the left, but his face was locked the way the Bible said, straight on, right on. Okay? And here we are in verse 52. And sent messengers before his face, and they went and entered into village of the Samaritans. Remember one time we talked about the village of Samaria, Sychar, one at the well, Sychar of Samaria. Sychar means what? Falsehood. All right? To make ready for him. Now, we know that John the Baptist went before him to make ready a people prepare for the Lord. But here the apostles themselves are coming into the same framework and the frame that John the Baptist came into, went forth into. So I just go to show you, all because you take one out the way, it don't mean that God don't have another. I know what you're thinking out there. Oh, God always have a ram in the bush. That's how y'all think. All right? He always have a ram in the bush. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole because it goes nowhere. All right? God had only one begotten Son. He sent him. There was no ram in the bush. All right? God bless you, global Christian friends, American public, government, pastors and churches, saints out there. We love you. God bless you.